These are pictures from India Gate. The flame you can see burning there is the Amar Jawan Jyoti under India Gate, and things are no less tense here at this central monument in New Delhi. I want to go across now to Aditi Anantanarayanan, our reporter who's been reporting. Okay, we don't have Aditi right now, but I'd like to quickly remind you of the information that Aditi has been bringing us here on Headlines today. Aditi is at the Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital, and she's been bringing us information that several injuries have been reported from the Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital. These are people who've sustained injuries at Vijay Chowk, at Raisina Hill as a result of the crackdown. Let me read out to you what Aditi has sent us just now. She says as many as 35 people have sustained injuries and are admitted to hospitals, including the RML hospital in Delhi, the LNJP hospital, as well as the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, which is a short distance away from the location where these protests are happening. And the injuries range from fractures to people bleeding from their faces and head, bruises and minor injuries of this kind. I want to bring in Aditi Anantanarayanan, who's with me on the phone line right now. Aditi, some minor injuries being treated at hospitals, at least 3 hospitals across the city.
Yeah, Shiv, right now I'm outside RML and the situation here is not at all pleasant. After the fresh bout of lathi charge, the paramedics are saying this has been the worst of the day, and 35 had been confirmed, and in front of me about 8 more people, including a police official, has been butchered. And Shiv, I would like to point out one more thing which the patients coming out of the hospital have told me, that the doctors inside are registering a case of stampede. And when the protesters, protested against it and said that it was not stampede that they were injured, it was lathi charge. The doctors said that they were given instructions from the top authorities that they have to register a case of stampede and not of lathi charge.
Yes.
So clearly the police does not want to accept. The government is completely in denial, even after people are being beaten up there in front of the camera, in front of the entire country. Here, the doctors are registering a case of stampede, and no lathi charge is being, and people are being forced to give their thumb impressions inside the hospitals.
And Aditi, are people continuing to come in to RML hospital?
Till now, 5 ambulances have come in here, and and there are ladies who have had bruises on their faces. People are in a lot of pain. There has been a boy who's come out with bleeding. His head is bleeding profusely. So people are coming here with serious injuries, and as I said, the paramedics themselves are saying that this has been the worst. And right now, another ambulance has come in front of me with 2 injured inside. And probably this might have been the worst lathi charge of the day, as the paramedics are claiming it to be.
Okay, so things are pretty bad. Injuries are being treated. Thanks, Aditi, for getting us that update from the Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital, also in central Delhi, where several injured people are being treated. At least 5 ambulances with injured people have been admitted there. Kartike, what is the situation right now? It's changing literally by the minute. What is it now?
You see, if I have to just sum it up for you, Shiv, the broken glasses, bottles, slippers here just tell the tale of what sort of violence which happened at Raisina. I'll ask Sanjeev just to pan here so that you can have an idea as to what really happened within 20 minutes. This whole area was full of protesters.
Yes.
And Shiv, this was chock-a-block full. And now the only thing which you can see here is that police personnel are here because the light is not much. You'll get the frame very gradually. It's full of police, it's full of rapid action forces. Most of them have been pushed back to the India Gate. There are a couple of people and women, since there are a lot of women here, they're not being touched by the police personnel. This whole area has been cleaned, and as you can see that police personnel, what they're trying to do is that they're trying to increase the distance between the mouth of the Raisina
Yes.
with those of protesters. Now the whole area, which was the Tahrir here, if I have to use a metaphor, has completely been cleared. You have been in Tahrir, Ashif, and they are being pushed back by a kilometer. You can see that couple of protesters there in the middle. If we can just pan it straight, but most of them are police personnel. they are not those protesters. There are a couple of women here who police they haven't touched because of their age and out of the fact that they understand that there is a lot of anger against what has happened. And I suspect that in next half an hour, this whole area will be cleared. So what is happening is that the most of them are being pushed back, and tomorrow the area of protest which the police has decided will not be the mouth of Raisina. It will have to be India Gate or area nearby. Shiv.
All right, it'll have to be the area nearby or at India Gate, nowhere closer to the actual zone where these protests are happening. The police obviously taking some lessons from the kind of violence it has seen today. Look at the crowds that are surrounding the India Gate. That structure that you see on your screens, the very familiar structure, is the very sacred Amar Jawan Jyoti, which is a tribute to India's military men, the tomb of the unknown soldier in other countries. And what you've got here surrounding India Gate is people whose numbers have swollen and simply refusing to move from there. The numbers have stayed pretty much constant. They've increased gradually through the evening and now they've plateaued out. Thousands of people. We cannot hazard a guess on the number of people who are there right now. What we can tell you is, since we report from these locations on a daily basis, these particular areas of Delhi have never ever looked like this, perhaps in their entire history. The number of people who are there, who are actually showing solidarity right through the day, and I can tell you it's a cold Saturday in the national capital, but people are in no mood to go home just yet. They want to be there. They want to make their presence felt, and they want to tell the government that they're not moving until they get some answers. I want to go across again to Kartike Sharma for more. Kartike, any signs that the numbers of people are decreasing?
You see, a lot of people have dispersed. What has happened, Shiv, was that you see that the whole area or the sanctum sanctorum of Raisina has now been occupied by the Rapid Action Force. And most of the people you see, they're primarily police personnel. And rest, as you were telling our viewers of the headlines today, have been pushed back. Couple of them are actually at the heart of Vijay Chowk, which is not Raisina, but the red light from which if you go straight, you reach Parliament. If you take a U-turn, then you reach Air Force Bhavan. There are a couple of people there, but they have primarily cleared this area. Now the whole issue is that there are a lot of protesters who are still there. The people who have been hurt, who are sitting in adjoining gardens. So that is why the police personnel is not trying to be trying to use those strong arm tactics with them. But then yes, no one from the political class came to visit them. There was not a single politician. There was not a single senior bureaucrat. There was no conversation. There was no dialogue with the students. They were met with lathis, they were met with tear shell, and they felt the cold water of the water cannons of Delhi police.
Yes.
So what they required was a dialogue, a word or two, an assuring word, but instead they felt the hard steel of Delhi police on their skin.
Well, they've definitely felt the hard steel of Delhi police on their skin. We can vouch for the fact that several people have in fact sustained injuries, not from the crowds, but from the lathis, the water cannons, whatever else kind of force that people, by being manhandled by the police there. But let's just tell our viewers, because we need to make this very clear. The Delhi police is out there not because it wants to, but because it has been instructed to be there and do what it is doing by the Home Ministry. Politicians and bureaucrats hand down instructions for the Delhi police to actually do what it's doing. So individual constables, individual officers on the scene are not really responsible for the way things are going on, because at the end of the day they are under instruction from politicians who, like cowards, continue to hide. Not a single politician has showed his face. Sushil Kumar Shinde, the Home Minister of this country, has refused to come out and speak about this topic today. The actual bastion of power, India Gate, Rajpath, Vijay Chowk, Raisina Hill, Rashtrapati Bhavan, are literally under siege by thousands of young Indians. And the least they expect is a little respect, a little dignity, to be given a little importance in terms of a government that is willing to come out and engage with with these people, to speak to them one on one like normal human beings, instead of hiding in their ivory towers, refusing to come out and face up with the reality that has swelled right there at the heart of the national capital's power centers. These are people who don't want to go home. It's a cold night out there in Delhi. I can tell you, I'm sitting in a studio, but I've been there at India Gate on a cold winter's night. It's not pleasant. It's very cold. But these are people who couldn't care less, because they want answers from the government. They want the government to come out, show them a little bit of dignity, speaking to them. Where is Sheila Dikshit? Where is the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi? Where is the Home Minister? Why hasn't Pranab Mukherjee found it fit to come out and speak to these people? Sonia Gandhi has visited the Delhi gang rape survivor at the Safdarjung Hospital. She was outside among the crowds when India had won a World Cup in cricket. Why isn't she out there right now with her security? Actually speaking to these people. Ankit Tyagi is on Raisina Hill. He's at Vijay Chowk and Raisina Hill. He's switching between both those locations. Ankit, very dramatic scenes about half an hour ago when we were speaking. What is it like now?
Shiv, as of now, the situation is a little under control. The police has gained a lot of ground. Right from in the morning where the protesters were, right at the beginning of the hill, the police has gained that ground. They have thrown them back. As of now, a lot of police present here. After that spontaneous action by these protesters, when they clashed with the police, you saw those dramatic visuals of the bus being broken, and the police had to use force. They taken charge these protesters, and right now it seems that the police is gearing up to clear the entire area. A lot of policemen the numbers completely have doubled. They will now, they are now gearing up to clear this area. The police also, it seems, have had enough throughout the day. On the other hand, these protesters, since early morning, they have been here asking the government to listen to them, asking the president to come out. Shiv, if I can quickly tell you, as you were mentioning that World Cup victory, I was at ITO when Headlines Today was the only channel that got Sonia Gandhi meeting those people.
Yes.
This is the same question that these protesters are asking right now. When you can come for your PR exercise at that time, why not come speak to us, make us understand what are your problems, and at least give us some assurances so that we can be satisfied. We can go back thinking that now the government is serious about making Delhi safe. Neerja Chaudhary, the senior journalist that we had live with us just a few minutes back, she also said that Rahul Gandhi should have been this is an opportunity that not only the Congress party has missed, the government has missed, but the entire political spectrum will come out looking bad throughout these visuals, these dramatic events that have took place today.
Well, these are dramatic events that I don't think anybody is going to be forgetting in a hurry. The sort of emotions, the sort of ferocity of the protests that we're seeing at Raisina Hill, at Vijay Chowk, on Rajpath, despite the barricades, despite the show of force. I don't know how many people have actually left from this scene, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, because there are some who've been taken away in ambulances to the Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital and two other hospitals in the vicinity. But I honestly do not know whether anybody has voluntarily moved off from the scene and just gone home, because the numbers have only increased right through the day. Vijay Kao, my colleague, is live with me from India Gate. Vijay, the number of people we've seen standing around India Gate, very close to the Amar Jawan Jyoti as well, is a little startling. I don't think anybody has seen India Gate like this ever before, except perhaps last year during the Jan Lokpal protest. I myself was there one night when there were thousands of people surrounding the India Gate. It's exactly like that now, Vijay.
Of course, Shiv, unprecedented crowd here at the India Gate near Amar Jawan Jyoti. And like you rightly pointed out, maybe from the Anna Hazare protest, from the India Against Corruption protest, people are taking a cue and they are taking to the streets of Delhi for their cause. Even over here as we speak, the protest is pretty strong. People are moving around in small pockets and they have posters, banners shouting that they want justice and they want those who are responsible for such heinous crimes to be hanged. I have with me a couple of women who are here and they have some strong points to make. Tell me what you have. You're talking. You had some message for Rahul Gandhi.
Yeah.
What did you want to tell him?
I just have a simple question for Mr. Rahul Gandhi. He simply goes to slum areas, right? He go for campaigning and he always motivates youth. This is a protest, this is a movement led by the youth, and why is he not ready to come out and talk to the youth? This is a movement led by the youth, headed by the youth. We want at least Mr. Rahul Gandhi to come out and talk to the youth. We are youth, you promoters, you talk, you say, you represent yourself as the youth leader. Where is your youth leadership, man? Come out and talk to us, talk to the youth.
Clearly, they're urging Rahul Gandhi to come out. They're saying that he calls himself the youth icon, but where is he now when girls are being raped on the streets of Delhi? I have another lady with me, and she also has a point to make. Ma'am, please.
हेलो हाँ मैं निकी यस मैं निकी ठाकुर बोल रही हूँ और जितनी जल्दी से जल्दी हो और दोषियों को फांसी की सजा दी जाए.
Clearly, people saying that those responsible for such crimes should be hanged, or maybe justice should prevail in such cases. I have with me another lady. Ma'am, if you could put your point across.
Regarding the current protests, what I have to say is that probably these protests within a couple of days would die down. I'm not being pessimistic, but the point is this, that when all these people, and even I am a part of it, and I am from a women organization, when we are protesting, I think we should also raise some larger questions. We should also, people are saying society is responsible for these kinds of things happening to women, but what kind of society are we living in? Because rapes, they happen all the time. Today also we read in the newspapers, there were 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, innumerable instances of rapes happening. But then why don't we question the kind of society that is, you know, making women feel vulnerable, making women feel insecure? And also, when I am saying society, I don't blame every person living in society. I think there are particular classes who are responsible for this. And as she rightly pointed out that where is Rahul Gandhi right now? But I think this kind of expectation from the people who are ruling this country, I think it's, I don't know, it's like living in a fool's paradise. Don't expect anything from them. What we have to do is get organized, and also when these protests die down, I think we should consistently, persistently, constantly organize ourselves in organizations and also raise larger questions regarding the system we are living in.
Clearly, people have given up on the establishment, and they are saying that the Aam Aadmi themselves will have to come out on the streets and fight for their cause. I have with me another lady, and she also had a point to make. Ma'am, could you please state your point?
My simple point was, why did this happen in the first place? Probably, you know what, this is what happens every day when you're late, or you're working late, you're walking on a road, you ask a rickshaw wala or an auto wala or a taxi wala to take you home. He asks you for 100 rupees or 200 rupees or 300 rupees. In spite of the traffic police claiming they have so many things and movements going on, nobody would pull down a meter. So automatically an illegal operator looking for a prey comes out and says, 10 rupaye mein wahan chhod dunga. So a normal middle class woman would probably have a tendency of catching the cheaper thing, and that is where she becomes a victim. So pull up the transport system, pull up the public system, make it safe, you know. So all these things, not only, yes, rules, everything is there, but then you need to look into all these things as well.
Yeah, perhaps, but I think
the system needs to be revamped,
yes,
you know.
And it's like addressing the symptoms, you know, security, transport को अच्छा बना दो, ये सारे ना symptoms को address करना है. मुझे लगता है कि symptoms से ज़्यादा ये सिस्टम किन चीजों पे थ्राइव कर रहा है. जैसे अगर बचपन से बच्चों के दिमाग में ये चीजें डालेंगे कि औरतें तो वीकर सेक्स हैं, औरतें ये हैं, ये पूरी चीज को बदलना पड़ेगा. और इसके लिए
There you go, Shiv. People are on the streets clearly saying that the government is just addressing the symptoms rather than the disease. But talking about here at the India Gate, while the protests are as strong as they're happening at Raisina Hill, but over here the protests are way more peaceful. Make no mistake that they are not any diluted over here. But yes, people coming out strongly and making a point. I have another lady who might have a point to make. What do you have to say?
I just want to say, when at the time of election, the Prime Minister, everybody comes out in the crowd and demands for the vote. Now, why they are not coming out? Why they are hidden in their homes, getting so much security? Why they are not coming out and talk to the youth of the government? I mean, they have to speak something. We want a statement from the head of the government, from the Prime Minister, that okay, this thing has been done. The women's are safe from next time. We want this from the PM of the India.
Clearly, girls on the streets asking for a surety from the highest level on the government, saying that they want the Prime Minister to come out and assure them that they will be safe and that nothing will happen to them on the streets. If I could also ask my camera person to pan and show you the number of people still protesting, and this is quite unprecedented, like you pointed out, Shiv. Never before have you seen so many people accumulated. Last year, yes, you rightly pointed out, people had come out on the streets when the when the team India Against Corruption was protesting, but now this is unparalleled, a sort of an awakening that is taking place over here, Shiv. People have had enough, and such incidents and such things have reached a tipping point, and because of which now people are turning up and they're turning out and they're raising their voices. Back to you.
Vijay, I'd also like to get a sense. I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm just curious because this is a weekend. Today is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday, and I want to know how many of the people that you're speaking to there at India Gate will be back tomorrow and perhaps the day after as well. Can you do a spot check?
Well, Shiv, you raised a very valid point, but at times there are certain causes that might feel as if they were weekend causes. A lot was said about the whole Anna Hazare movement, that
Yes.
it was more like a weekend movement. They only turned up on weekends. But let's ask the people over here, what brings them here? Is it the weekend, or is it really the drive to fight for a cause that brings them over here? Do you think that had today not been a weekend, had it not been a Saturday, you wouldn't have turned up and you would have been in your offices? You're a working professional. What do you have to say?
I just feel like coming because this is not the matter that the girl is, in the hospital. We are also girls. We don't feel safe in Delhi. This could be happen with anybody. There's so many girls. It's just not because that girl is facing the same thing. We walk on the road. We get out. We cannot stop ourselves because we are working.
Would you come on a Monday or a Tuesday instead of a Saturday and a Sunday?
Definitely, definitely.
There you go, Shiv. People clearly saying that
Yeah.
the girls, the women on the streets of Delhi have a larger connect, and they claim that even if today was a Monday or a Saturday, they would have come. Let me speak with a few more women who are standing out here. Ma'am, tell me, a lot is being said about how today is a weekend and people could have turned up because it's a weekend, it's a holiday. But had it been a Monday or a Tuesday, people might not turn up. Would you, ma'am, to come over here on a working day?
Yes, I would have definitely come here on a working day, because it is not just the days that count, it is just every moment that what we are, it is the emotion that counts. We can't sit at home, be it a working day, be it a holiday. Our emotions are such that we are not able to sleep in the nights. What is going to happen the next day? It's just about us, our sisters, our daughters, everybody. We are not safe anywhere.
Okay.
It's a day or a night, we people are there who are feeling emotionally harassed.
Shiv, fear and concern, people claim over here is what bringing
Vijay, I'd like to interrupt you. That's one of the things about this entire issue. It isn't, I was asking out of curiosity, but at the end of the day, this isn't an issue about convenience, is it? I mean, this is about women's safety. The people you're speaking to aren't speaking about it because they think it's fashionable or there are TV cameras there. These are people who've probably been sexually harassed on Delhi streets. This is something that hits very close to home. But I also want to remind our viewers that this is not a Delhi-centric story, even though the protests you see are in Delhi right now. I want to go across to Arjun Chatterjee, my colleague who joins me live from Kolkata. There are protests happening in Kolkata as well, ladies and gentlemen. Arjun's going to take you through what's happening there and what kind of solidarity is being shown by the people of Kolkata. Arjun.
Well, sure. If I can ask my camera person to show what the City of Joy is up to, thousands, and this is very remarkable. This is exceptional, and we're really impressed. Thousands of young people on the streets of Kolkata showing their emotions, their anguish, their anger, and there are posters, banners. It's a peaceful process. And if I can ask my camera person to tilt a bit, you can have that Indian flag there. There are banners which, some of which reads, if you become a father, don't want a daughter. There are banners, posters saying that kill the accused, hang them, castrate them. But more importantly, these young voices, and not just the young college goers, Shiv, mind you, their parents, the teachers, the professors, a cross section of the society has hit the streets of Kolkata. At least I can tell you it's 5,000 strong people in the afternoon. It's a weekend, and we expect that this will consistently go on till tomorrow. There will be a candlelight vigil as well. And I can tell you, the big question here is, these people want justice. They think that the politicians whom they vote to, whom they send to the parliament or to the state legislatures, should be with them, the politicians across the party line. Some of the young people out there were telling me, aren't we interested vote bank for these politicians? We are young. They want to tap the young. If that is true, then why aren't they not listening to our voices? Why is it not that the politicians across party lines come down to the streets of Kolkata, express their anguish similarly, and then ask for justice? There are strong questions that are being asked here by the people of Kolkata. The city, which is also known as the City of Joy, has now expressed its anguish, and probably they want this rape to be the last rape in this country. They want all the pending cases to be sorted, all the accused to be legally punished, severely punished, and they also want India to actually give some justice to that 23-year-old who's fighting for her life in the hospital. The City of Joy has come down to the streets. The candlelight vigil is on, and the big question now is whether the politicians across party line will come out from their closet and join them,
Yes.
whether they will voice their anger, and whether they will show some solidarity, which the people of Kolkata can do. Back to you.
Arjun, have politicians come out into the streets in Kolkata to interact with the people there, to speak to them, to reach out to them? Because I can tell you, here in Delhi, not one has had the decency to do that.
Pardon, Shiv?
Arjun, if you can hear me, have any Trinamool leaders or left leaders or any politicians come out and spoken to the people of Kolkata?
Well, not something that we have witnessed. We have tried. The Chief Minister is out on her district tour. The Chief Minister, who is a mass leader, who at every second sentence in a public speech talks about Ma Mati Manush. This is the Manush that has hit the streets of Kolkata. These people have voted her to power after 34 years of left rule, and they expected that their very own Chief Minister, who is a mass leader, who has always hit the streets whenever it came to protest on a very just cause, has been there. She is not here. Neither are her party MLAs present on the streets, and neither the left leaders who have always spoken about justice. We have not seen the left leaders coming out, and this is, Shiv, I can tell you, something remarkable. We have seen rallies, political rallies. We have seen political leaders going on hunger strike. At this particular venue where I am standing, from on top of the OB van, I can show you what the city now looks like. If I can ask my camera person to show you, that's Esplanade, that's the heart of Kolkata. Just a kilometer, barely a kilometer from here, is the State Secretariat where the Chief Minister holds her office, which is the Writers' Building. That's a metro station, and that's a very important point out here. Just right to that is the monument. Next to that is the Eden Gardens, where, Mecca of Indian cricket. People here have come from all parts of the state. It's not just Kolkata. I'm telling you, we have spoken to quite a few of them. Thousands have thronged here on the streets. College goers, young students, their parents, teachers, artists, all of them, except the politicians. And we now strongly feel that, this is a weekend, it's Saturday. This will probably consistently continue on Sunday as well.
Yes.
Like the rest of the nation, the City of Joy, which has shown its anguish, will continue to do so until some sort of a justice is attained, is reached. So probably this will continue. We hope the politicians across party lines wake up, come down to the streets, walk with them, talk to them,
Yes.
and express their anguish as well. Back to you, Shiv.
Thanks, Arjun. I mean, that's an emphatic sign that This is not a Delhi-centric story. It is a story that cuts completely across state lines. It is national. There are Indians abroad who are watching this, feeling sorrow and anger and perhaps even frustration to be away from the country at a time like this, when there has been such an upsurging of anger and frustration at the government over crimes against women and the Delhi gang rape that has become the face of this, what everybody hopes will be a tipping point.